5:33 this morning, our Casey on the Clock coverage continues, exploring every angle of the NFL draft coming to Kansas City next year. Take a look. We have a QR code right here for you at the bottom of your screen. You can scan this, and that sends you to all of our angles of the draft as the city gets ready for that. All of our coverage. This morning, Taylor Hemness live outside KCI, outside the new terminal, which is going to be a really important part for the thousands of people. A lot of people might be coming to Kansas City for the very first time through there.
Yeah, Lynn, quickly I have to ask, that's 7 hours over how many nights added together just on that sleep study?
Just one.
Oh, that's per night. Oh, all right, well, sorry, I missed that study this morning. Yes, we are live here at KCI this morning for the new terminal. We've shown you inside the terminal lots and lots. We are diving deeper into the infrastructure changes this morning that are going to be happening and already have happened to get ready for the NFL draft next year. Of course, the terminal itself, one of the biggest, if not the biggest infrastructure change, actually the biggest development project like this the city has ever undertaken. Here's what Kathy Nelson had to say about this new terminal just a little while ago.
A week after that airport opens, we have MIAA men's and women's. We have Big 12 men's and women's. We have the NCAA men's regional Sweet 16 Elite 8. And then, of course, the NFL draft. It'll be a biggest year for our city in decades, and it's all tied to sports.
Yeah, all tied to sports. We just got our annual reminder last week of what a huge event the NFL draft is in Las Vegas. You could see the tens of thousands of people if you watch any of the coverage over that three-day event. It's a massive event, and we are ready for it here in Kansas City. But as you heard Kathy mention there's going to be a few other minor tests along the way, those basketball tournaments that are going to happen not long after the terminal opens. But that draft next year in Kansas City, less than 1 year from now, is the first big one for this building.
Watching the Chiefs draft new players got hearts pumping. Definitely for fans, but also for the crews working on Kansas City's new terminal.
It sure does. I think when we hit the March of this year, that was kind of not a wake-up call, but a realization that, my gosh, we're a year out, and now even more so.
KSHP 41 has been keeping close tabs on the construction efforts at KCI, with multiple reports from inside the new terminal. The project remains on time and on budget, and McBride says there are even sections inching toward the finish line.
I was in there the other day. There's a guy painting. That dawned on me. Paint. Okay, wow, that's a finishing touch.
And with the clock ticking, people are noticing. Missouri Governor Mike Parson visited for a tour recently, posting photos on Twitter, and McBride says coming away impressed.
He was proud of Missouri and careful that he couldn't brag up Kansas City too much over St. Louis, but I could kind of see that was in his eyes.
Pride is a big part of this project. During our conversation, McBride described the terminal as a new welcome mat for visitors and wants people to notice and maybe even think of an old song.
Everything is up to date in Kansas City. Look at this instead of a 50-year-old facility that's kind of beyond its prime. I want the people that were with us and the people who were against us to say, wow, I didn't think it was going to be this great. This is amazing. I'm really proud to be a Kansas City on this day.
Everything's up to date in Kansas City, well on its way here with this new terminal, less than a year out from completion. McBride said obviously they are going to be talking to the Las Vegas Aviation Department in the coming weeks about exactly what they experience. He said they're going to give them some time to kind of catch their breath after this draft experience last week. And then those questions will include things like, what would you do differently? What have you learned about how you could have done this differently when it comes to welcoming all those travelers to your city? Again, the draft next year is set for April 27th, 28th, and 29th here in Kansas City. Now, all this week with our Kansas City on the Clock coverage, we're going to bring you more in-depth coverage of exactly what the city is doing to get ready for that draft. Infrastructure this morning, how to showcase our fountains, how to showcase barbecue, what Airbnbs look like. Lots of questions to answer between now and next year. We're going to be talking about the lot this week on KSHP 41. Lindsay, back to you.